Very good. Good. I think
Yeah.
most of us have experienced all of that, so great answers. And now what can we look optimistically to for this coming year, or would we want to become more positive? Hannah, any ideas? No. Well, all right, we can think about that, or whatever, what Max mentioned about COVID, social unrest. We can want to and try to work, especially the social unrest, we can try to work to improve those situations there. And hopefully COVID will disappear, and we can go back to the better ways. And also you might think some things because of COVID, we may have learned, and we're like, oh, now we might be able to improve ourselves for the coming year and in the future. All right, second paragraph, somebody? Anyone? I'll read it. In the synagogue, the Torah scrolls, the ark, the readers' tables are all dressed in white. Usually there are white flowers, and the rabbi and cantor wear white. This gives us clean and new feeling, like a sheet of paper before we write on it. So we're starting a new year, a new slate. And the way I'm going to go quickly, the Shana Tova means Happy New Year, right? So everyone say Shana Tova. I can't hear you. Oh, because you're on mute. No. Oh, very good. Shana Tova, right? Have a good year. Have a good year. And we mentioned a lot about what, who's there? Please mute that, even though it's beautiful. Here we go. Ma tovu. Ma tovu. Ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu. Ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Now let us say we're going to say the morning blessings, the daily blessings. Would someone like to read them in English for us? Jordan.
All right, let me zoom in on this. Thank you, Adonai, our God, source of blessing, for letting me see a new day, for making me a Jewish person, for giving me freedom.
Amen at the end of the blessing.
For forming me in your image.
Amen.
For providing me with all my needs.
Amen.
For creating heaven and earth.
Amen.
For opening our eyes to all that is around us.
Amen.
For strengthening those who are tired or afraid.
Amen.
For offering us guidance and hope.
All right. Amen. Thank you very much, Jordan. Now, Max or Hannah, you don't have to do this, but does anyone want to act out any of those blessings? And then we will follow along and imitate your interpretation, your dramatic interpretation of the blessing. Nobody? All right, here's a famous one that we do every Shabbat, and then you can follow me. All right, I'm just going to say, for giving me freedom, which is Shasani Ben or Shasani Bat for a girl, Chorin. So I'm going to say it in Hebrew, and then I'm going to dramatize that blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shasani Ben Chorin. Yay, I'm free. All right, everybody, let's see you do that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Now, if you don't have to, if you want to rise for the Baruch Hu, please rise for the Baruch Hu. And I will lead the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Ba'ed. You may be seated. Now we're going to sing Or Chadash. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Or Chadash al Tzion Ta'ir Or Chadash Al Tzion Ta'ir. Or Chadash Al Tzion Ta'ir. Or Chadash Al Tzion Ta'ir. V'nizke hulanu mehera leoro. V'nizke hulanu mehera leoro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hameorot. Now we have the Shema followed by the Via Hafta. Can we have a guest chazan for that? Raise your hand. Max.
Yeah. Am I doing the Via Hafta too?
Yeah, if you would like. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Okay. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Elohim etzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'debartam v'shivtecha b'beitecha v'leftecha v'derech v'shachtecha v'kumecha v'sertam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha v'chachtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharecha.
Beautiful, Max. Thank you very much. Now let's all sing Emet. Emet, 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 Atahu Risho. Oh, Emet, 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 Atahu Acharo. Oh, Numi Baladecha, Ein Lanu Melech. Melech Goel U'Moshiach, Moshiach, Umi Baladecha, Ein Lanu Melech. Melech Goel U'Moshiach. All right, question time, pop quiz. And you unmute yourself if you have the answer. Because Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbat, what difference is there in celebrating the holiday?
Do we sing in a different melody for certain prayers?
Ooh, that might be true. That might be true because there are in certain spots of the prayers you add words if the holiday is on Shabbat to observe the Shabbat prayers. Very good.
We have more aliyot.
We have more aliyot. Excellent. You guys are awesome. Yes, is right. Because on Shabbat we have how many do we usually have on Shabbat?
7.
Excellent. Right. So 7, and on holidays
5.
Right. So on Shabbat we have the same reading. We just divide it up into smaller sections to make the 7 aliyot in our Shabbat. Excellent. One more big thing. Big deal. Like, what do you think about it when it's Rosh Hashanah? This is more of a minus, not an addition.
What?
Sorry?
This is more of a what?
Like something we don't do because it's Shabbat, rather than like something that we add aliyot or add songs or prayers.
We don't wear leather.
Shofar?
Blow the shofar. Leather. Save that answer for next week on Yom Kippur.
Oh.
All right.
But for right, we don't blow the shofar. And why do we not blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah when it falls on Shabbat?
Instrument?
It's an instrument. There's another answer as well. Do you ever hear that? Tell me, nod your head if you want, or raise your hand if you've heard it. That there's a tradition not to carry objects from your house to outside or outside to inside. Has anyone heard that? Great. So there's a tradition to do that because there's something called milachot. These activities that took place when they were building and putting together the Mishkan, the portable temple. So any of those activities we don't do on Shabbat. And one of those things was carrying, as well as, if you kind of think about it, Hannah and David, you can answer this as well. Anyone can answer this, and Hannah over there. When you think about you going to school or your parents going to work pre-COVID times, how would you like describe them? Like when you're going to school, what do you look like?
Usually wearing casual clothes like sweatpants and a sweatshirt, but on the holidays we dress up to show our respect towards God.
Oh, good, good, good. And what are you doing when you go to school? Like, if you were to describe yourself walking out your door, going to school.
Learning.
What?
Learning.
Learning? Oh, before you even get to school, unless you're doing your homework while you're walking out the door.
Driving.
Right out the door, before you even get in your car or the bus. Just describe yourself. I'm wearing this, I'm holding that, or
You carry your
carry
backpack.
things.
good. I want to hear that answer, the carrying stuff, right? So yeah, a lot of times, because Shabbat, we don't do work and we don't do melacha more specifically, you can kind of also see the connection that has to do with work where, if you're a kid, you go into school or college, you have a backpack, your laptop, that kind of thing. And your parents may have, like back in the day, a briefcase or their laptops. So you kind of see the connection with that related to work as well. Carrying back. So the thing is, the shofar, we don't carry. So let's say you were the shofar blower, and normally you would let's say, leave the shofar in the temple, and you'd come on the morning of Rosh Hashanah and you'd blow the shofar. Everything would be great. You wouldn't be carrying even if you did it on Shabbat. But if you forgot your shofar at home, and everyone in teen service, everyone in 4th to 6th grade, all the thousands of adults, they're all expecting you to be the shofar blower, and you left it at home. And the only way for you to get the shofar to the temple is carry it from your house outside and back into the temple. You would be very, 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 very tempted to carry that said object of the shofar, right? So because of that, they decided that we don't want to risk someone not observing the Shabbat properly by carrying, because they would carry the shofar in an instance like that. So that is the reason why we don't blow the shofar. Now, Hannah and David, raise your hand if you want it to be story time. All right, good. I see a hand. It is story time. Quick story here. Little Rosh Hashanah story. All right. Has everyone had apples and honey so far? Apples, at least?
No, but later.
Oh, okay. Good. And any other special Rosh Hashanah foods or traditions, customs?
Round raisin challah.
Oh, nice. You got it. Excellent. And what are the reasons for that?
It's supposed to show the marks or the cycle, I guess.
Right, the cycle of the year, the cycle of life. We're going back. We're starting another year. We want to improve, review, and improve. Very good. All right, this story is called, Scales, Balance, and Rain. All right. In a faraway town, there was a terrible drought. No rain had fallen for several months, and so food was scarce, and there was little to drink. Not only did the rabbi of the town pray for rain, but the entire congregation joined him in chanting and fasting. One night, the rabbi had a strange dream. He heard a voice whisper to him, "Only one man, Moshe, the shopkeeper, can bring rain. He alone must lead the congregation in prayer." Why should Moshe, the shopkeeper, lead the service? He can barely read. There must be some mistake, the rabbi thought. However, the dream returned to him a second time, and then a third. The rabbi finally decided that he would obey the voice. On the following day, he announced to the astonished congregation, "Moshe ben Yitzhak will lead us in the service." The shopkeeper replied in a pleading voice, "Please, no. How can I do this when I hardly know the prayers?" The rabbi also pleaded, "Moshe, you must do it, for you are the only one who can end this drought. God will accept your prayer if it is from the heart." To everyone's surprise, Moshe left the synagogue. The congregants sat silently, waiting to see what would happen next. 5 minutes later, they had their answer. Moshe returned with a balance scale from his shop, marched up to the front of the synagogue, and began to speak. "Holy One, I am not a learned man. All I can show you is the good name and the honest scales I use in business. I have never lied or cheated anyone. If by being honest, I have followed your commandments, then be merciful and bring us rain. The grateful congregants not only said prayers of thanks to God, but also went home to adjust their scales. No one knows for sure if this is the reason they never had another drought, but no matter, they all felt that if their scales were in balance, the world was in balance too. So that is the story. So can someone explain the story to us? Or if you have any questions, what did the scales, why did Moshe show the scales? What did that demonstrate?
That he was honest.
That he was honest. Good. Does someone want to explain the scales?
Does it weigh the amount of
Exactly. Yeah.
these
Right. So
things?
yeah, because like back then, the old scales with like one side on the right and one side on the left. So they would put different weights on if the food, if you had got bananas and you put a 5 pound weight on the other side and it equaled the 5 pounds, it would you would get charged for the 5 pounds. But if you had like weights on the bottom of the scales to make it even heavier, on the side of the bananas, then it would be more weight and it would cost more. So same thing, even if you go to like Whole Foods or Shaw's or Star Market, right? When you get some produce, they weigh it. So if someone messed up that machine so it cost more, that would be unfair. So Moshe was showing how he was fair and honest, and that is a definitely good attribute. So that is inspired everyone else to make sure that they were honest. All right, now we are on the Amidah on this page on your screen, and we can rise if you want to. Probably a good idea. It's called Amidah. It's a hint. La'amod, to stand, right? Take 3 steps backwards. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tilatach. And I'll bow down, and there's going to be a few extra phrases because of Rosh Hashanah. Baruch, bow down. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanara, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot, Maybe Goel L'Bnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Zochreinu L'Chaim, Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, V'Chatfeinu B'Sefer HaChaim, L'Ma'ancha Elohim Chaim, Melech Hazer, V'Fokedu Moshiach U'Magen. Bow down again. Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Foked Sarah, Atah Gibor L'Olam Adonai, Mechayim Mitim Atah Rab L'Yoshia, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayim Mitim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berafei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurah, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Michamoch Afar Chamim, Zecher Yitzirav, L'chaim Berachamim, V'ne'eman Atah L'chayot Meitim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMeitim. And now let's lift our feet up 3 times for Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech Haaretz Kivodo. You may be seated. Hen and David, the door will be on Shabbat, not today, all right? Let's sing the first couple of lines from Sim Shalom. 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, Caroline, Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom Tova Uracha Ba'olam. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha. Chayin v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael amecha. Barcheinu avinu kulanu ke'echa be'or panecha. Or panecha. Sim shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha ba'olam. Shalom tova uvracha Kivyor panecha natata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Torat chaim v'avat chesed u'tzedakah uvracha v'rachamim l'chaim v'shalom v'shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha ba'olam. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Now I'm going to read this special part for Rosh Hashanah, and then I'll ask someone to read the English version of it. B'sefer Chaim bracha v'shalom u'farnasa tova yizacher v'nikatev l'fanecha anachnu v'chol amcha beit Yisrael l'chaim tovim u'shalom. Baruch atah Adonai oseh shalom. All right, would someone besides Max and Jordan please read this paragraph? Raise your hand. Anybody? Nobody? Jordana? Go for it. No? All right, all right, Jordan Bornstein, let's do it. Let peace.
All right. Let peace, happiness, and love come to our world, to us, and to all the Jewish people. Bless us all, Holy One, with your light, for by the light you have given the Torah to guide us. May it please you to bless the Jewish people in every season and at all times, with goodness and peace.
Good, keep on going.
May we and all the Jewish people be remembered and recorded in your book for a good and peaceful life. Praised are you, Adonai, source of peace.
All right, let's say amen to that, right? Amen. Some very good wishes for Rosh Hashanah and the New Year. Thank you so much for reading that. Now we will sing more about asking for peace for the New Year with singing Oseh Shalom Bimromav. 1, 2, 3. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Vimru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru. Excellent. Let us someone read something over here. I'll read it. Strengthen us, bless us, bring us joy, remember us for good, hear our cries, answer our prayers, judge us kindly, show your love. And today is the birthday of the world. That's why Rosh Hashanah, right? All right, now here is a very, very important and meaningful and critical part of the Rosh Hashanah service, right? We're talking about Rosh Hashanah and what we want and the methods we can use to improve ourselves. So, Rosh Hashanah Yikatevun, you can look at English too, Rosh Hashanah Yikatevun, Uviyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemun. On Rosh Hashanah, it is written, and on the fast day of Yom Kippur, it is sealed. And this is the melody. Rosh Hashanah Yikatevun, Yikatevun, Uviyom Tzom Kippur Yechatemun, Yechatemun. And now we read the ways to improve ourselves. Utshuva, utfila, utstaka, ma'avirin et roa hagzera. Teshuva. What is teshuva? Teshuva is forgiveness, asking for forgiveness, granting forgiveness. Tefillah, prayer, and tzedakah, and charity, thinking about other people, improving other people's lives with good deeds and with money can change our lives. So that is the prescription on the different activities we can partake in, especially this time of year, but throughout the future, this coming year. All right, now, we mentioned we don't blow the shofar. We mentioned we have extra aliyot. We mentioned we have some extra prayers and different melodies because it is Shabbat. So normally we don't read and sing the Avinu Malkeinu prayer, but we'll do it anyway because it's Rosh Hashanah and it's our only service. So it's good to know for the future and tomorrow if you follow along. All right, so we're going to sing Avinu Malkeinu, and it's we're going to open the ark. So today I actually have a real ark, but you can open your imaginary arks for this, just for one song. And it's Avinu Malkeinu. We don't take out the Torah. I'm just fixing the Torah's angle there, and we are singing on the bottom lines here. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Banenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Banenu, Ki en banu Maasim. Aseh imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, V'hoshienu. One more time. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Banenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Banenu, Ki en banu Maasim. Aseh imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, V'hoshienu. Now you may close your imaginary or real arks if you have one in your house, and close the ark there. And you may be seated for the time being if you stood up. All right, actually, let's get ready, get those leg muscles ready for standing up one more time. We're going to open the ark and take out the Torah. So we have, let me just move this window so you can see it. It's out of your visual range there. And we're standing up. I find it so real, or you can open up the doors of your imaginary ark, or you can pull the strings to open up the curtains of your imaginary ark. However, your imaginary ark is configured in your mind. And I'm opening up our real ark. Vayihi ben Aharon, Vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, V'yafutzu oivecha, V'yanusu misanecha, Mipanecha, Ki mitzion tetze Torah, Ki mitzion tetze Torah, U'devar Adonai, Mirushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedushato. You can take out your imaginary Torahs from your imaginary arks. Mine's a little, if I was imagining a Torah, it would be a little easier to hold. All right, and repeat after me or join me. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol, Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Now face your imaginary ark, turn around, bow down a little bit. Gadlu Ladonai Iti, U'neromima Shemo Yachdav. Let's hear some loud Torah, Torah. Torah, 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 Torah. And you can march around your sanctuary. Torah, 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 Torah. Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah. Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, Torah. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. And let's see. Okay, yeah, let's say the Torah blessings. Start with the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai Amvarach. Baruch Adonai Barach Li'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. I'll just quickly talk about the portion very quickly. The portion is we read when the angels told Sarah and Abraham that they're going to have a baby and their son is going to be named. And Sarah's reaction is what? Let's see her reaction. You can act out her reaction so I can see on the camera. What did she do? All right, there you go. Good job. All right, she laughed because she thought she was way too old to be able to have a baby, but she had a baby the year later, and they named him Yitzchak, which means laughter. And the reason we read this portion on Rosh Hashanah is because we say that God remembered Sarah. And another name for Rosh Hashanah is Yom HaZikaron, which means day of remembrance. And we want God to remember us, remember our good deeds. And we also want to remember our good deeds, and we want to remember maybe our bad deeds and how we can change for the next year and improve ourselves. So that is why we read the portion, and that is why we call another name for Rosh Hashanah is Yom HaZikaron. Okay, so I just told you that interesting information. And now we will the ark is remained, open up again for Eitz Chaim, and then we will close our imaginary arcs. Eitz Chaim. Eitz Chaim hi lama chazikim b'vitom cheha me'ushar Eitz Chaim hi lama chazikim b'vitom cheha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. English version. It's a tree of life to all the hold fast to it. All its supporters are smile. Happy. It's a tree of life to all the hold fast to it. And all its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Now we can close our imaginary arcs, close the doors, pull down the strings, and now you may be seated. All right, let us quickly skip to, we were talking about apples and honey. We talked about the round challahs and raisins, with raisins, and we also have other foods that are traditional for Rosh Hashanah. Another one is, here's a good one, the pomegranate. And unmute yourself if you want to explain to us why we eat a pomegranate.
Because a pomegranate is supposed to have 613 seeds, which is how many Jewish laws there are.
Correct.
But actually, 613 seeds in pomegranates.
What did you just say?
There aren't actually 613 seeds in pomegranates.
Do you have one at home?
No, but it depends on the pomegranate. Different pomegranates have different numbers of seeds.
True. So it represents the 613 mitzvot or more. If there aren't exactly 613, then the many mitzvot or the many good deeds we want to be remembered for and that we want to do. Another part of the pomegranate, because it's not as common for us to eat it, is to have a new fruit, just any new fruit that you haven't had in a while, to represent the new year. And then here's some other ones that I hadn't really known too much about before. Oh, do you hear about fish heads? Have you heard about people eating fish heads?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right? Sorry?
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what? I was gonna bring next year in my group, I'll bring candy fish heads. So we can eat the heads off the candy fish heads. And what's the symbolism behind the fish heads?
It's the head of the year.
Head of the year, we want to be kind of leaders. You know, the heads, not the tails. Very good. And where's another good one? Dates, which isn't something new that I heard about, means finish end or cease to exist, because we want our bad deeds to cease to exist. And beats, spelled the exact same in Hebrew, means to depart or retreat. So we have both the newness items and prayers that represent newness, and also items, activities, and prayers that represent like leaving sins and taking the sins away from us. So another custom that people have on Rosh Hashanah is the tashlich custom, and that's when people throw bread into bodies of water. Can someone explain that?
You're throwing away your bad deeds.
Right. So we want the bread to represent our bad deeds. So we'll think about improving ourselves by getting rid of our maybe bad behaviors or bad deeds we may have done. Good. All right. Now I know it's not Rosh Hashanah, so we didn't carry on our shofars, but we have our hands and we have our imaginations, just like your beautiful imaginary arcs. So we can blow our imaginary shofars. So who's here? We got David, Jordan, Hannah, Alana, Max. All right. David Snyder, can you please blow? I'll blow a tekiah, and then you blow a tekiah for us, all right? The tekiah is the one long blow. Actually, you can do it, David, right? Take your shofar and go, woo. All right, David? You don't want to do it? Someone want to blow a tekiah? Right, let's do it all together. So we're gonna have the different notes: the tekiah, the shvarim, and the trua, and a tekiah gedola. So here's the tekiah. We're not going to say a bracha. We're not going to say a blessing because we're not using a real shofar, and it's Shabbat. So here's the tekiah. I don't see you holding your shofars. Hold your shofar. You could hold a really long one too. All right, now shvarim 3. Good job, everybody out there. Now trua 9 quick ones. Very nice. All right, now take a deep breath. Get ready for the tekiah gedola. 1, 2, 3. You guys are still going. Awesome. Yeah, good job. All right, excellent. Very nice. Time for our second Rosh Hashanah story. Are you all excited about our second Rosh Hashanah story? All right. Get my glasses so I don't. All right. This is called, some of you may have heard of this. It's called The Field of Sisterly Love, but it's a beautiful story. King Solomon was considered the wisest man on earth, yet he was baffled by one problem: where to build the holy temple. This question troubled him so much that he could not sleep. One night, as he tossed and turned on his royal bed, he heard a voice deep inside telling him to go to Mount Moriah in Jerusalem. There, Solomon found a field owned by 2 sisters. They each lived in a house at opposite ends of the field. One sister lived alone, while the other lived with her husband and 4 children. Together, they tilled and tended this field and divided its harvest equally. That night, King Solomon was not the only one who could not sleep. These 2 sisters both stayed awake worrying. The first sister thought to herself, "I'm a lucky woman. I have a family who will take care of me in my old age. My sister is alone. I must bring her extra wheat so she can store it for the future." The second sister said to herself, "I live alone and don't really need so much wheat. My sister should have a larger share for her big family." And so the 2 sisters rushed to their granaries, filled their arms with bundles of wheat, and dashed across the field to the other's storage bin. In the dim light of the moon, with their wheat piled high in their arms, they did not notice each other or Solomon, but the king quietly observed them. The next morning, the sisters were each astonished to find that when they looked in their granary, they had the same amount of wheat as before. This is indeed a puzzle for King Solomon the Wise, they both thought to themselves. For several nights, the sisters continued to exchange the wheat. Each morning, they would find that their own supply was not any less. Finally, boom, they bumped into each other at night. I don't know if they literally bumped into each other or they noticed each other. They bumped into each other in the middle of the field. Realizing what had been happening, the two sisters laughed and laughed as they hugged each other. The puzzle about the wheat sheaves was solved, and so was Solomon's problem about where to build the holy temple. He now knew that he would build it on this field of sisterly love, and so he did. Beautiful.
Weren't they growing wheat there though?
Oh, so yeah, I think he kind of got some eminent domain and was like, sorry, no. Good point. Good point. What did the poor wheat field now? The poor sisters' houses. What did he do? You know what? I don't know the answer to that. I would just say perhaps it was just close by. It was like near the mountain. So he's like, all right, this is the mountain I'm going to build a temple on. And these sisters will have their wheat field right next door. That was a great question, right? We still want to work. The sisters were so nice. We want to keep them happy in their fields and their storages in good shape. So we'll find out. I don't know what happened. Who wants to make a end of the story, choose your own adventure ending yourself? What happened to the sisters in their field? Yes, Jordan.
The temple was centered around the wheat, so there was still the wheat. It was like in the middle, but then you would walk around the wheat to get to the bima.
That is
So
great.
it was kind of like a mix. They got to keep part of their wheat field, but it was also used as a temple.
But the temple is on a mountain,
Yeah.
and the field. I think that the field would be at the base of the mountain, and then the temple is overlooking it.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
It might still be annoying because there'd be lots of construction.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. So right. Yeah. So if that was this is more like of a legend, more of like a midrash. So, if the wheat field still stayed there, that'd be a really great reminder to kind of be considerate and think of others while you're going to the Beit HaMikdash. So if it was there, that would be wonderful, like in the midst of the temple or, on your way or in the view. So good. Yeah, I like those answers. Excellent. And I don't know if you can see my page. I might be interested in seeing these wine. I don't know if generally speaking or just specially for this year, Rosh Hashanah, people were thinking about kind of doing a Seder, like on Passover, a different order, like people do a Seder for Passover, obviously, and Tu B'Shvat as well. People could do more of that on their own. So the reason, how we pour out wine for the sadness of the plagues, if someone did a like Rosh Hashanah Seder, they would pour out the wine as also kind of getting rid of the badness and getting rid of the sins. So that's what that would represent. So now we will go to singing Ein Keloheinu. By the way, it's really great to see everybody. How's everyone doing? Having a good Rosh Hashanah? Good.
Yeah.
Cool. And how's school year off starting well?
Yeah.
Good. Have you started classes?
Yeah.
All right, everyone started class? Yeah, great. Are you going to school or on Zoom?
My school's doing a hybrid.
Oh, so yeah.
I'm doing Zoom.
Oh, nice. All right. So yeah, that's one thing, that it allows you, even during COVID, you can keep in touch and have a service and have school. So we go on. All right, now we will conclude the service. We will Ein Keloheinu, Aleinu, and Adon Olam. And here is Ein Keloheinu. We're going to do Hannah and David, which Adonalam do you want to do? The fast one or the slow one? Do this, thumbs up for fast, thumbs, hand flat for slow. No opinion? Let's sing the traditional one. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kardonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadonenu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shektiru, Avotenu, Lefanecha Ekitoret Hasamim. All right, one more time with our imaginary or real arcs. Open up for Alenas. Stand up, rise, open, pull strings. Don't do anything, whatever you want. Alenu. Alenu l'shabeach ladon hakol late gidula liotze breshit shelo asanu kikoye haratzo velo samanu kimishbechot hadama shelo samchakenu kahem v'goralenu kicho amona. Now bow down. Venachnu korim mishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. May close your arcs. And we'll sing V'ne'emar. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. May be seated. And now let's say, right before our concluding prayer of Adon Olam, let us say important words for wishing ourselves and everyone that we know, our family, our friends, a wonderful, new, peaceful, good year. I'll read it in Hebrew, then let's all read it together in English. B'sefer Chaim, bracha v'shalom, u'farnasa tova, nizacher v'nikatev l'fanecha, anachnu, v'chol amcha, Beit Yisrael, l'chaim tovim u'shalom. Now everyone together. May we and all the Jewish people be remembered and recorded in your book for a good and peaceful life. Praised are you, Adonai, source of peace. B'sefer Chaim bracha v'shalom u'parnasa tova. That's the Hebrew I just read. And grant peace, happiness, and blessing to the world. Bless us all with your light, which teaches us Torah and leads us to peace. So that is a wonderful thought to think about, bring us into the new year. It was wonderful to have everybody. It was really great to see everyone. I haven't seen most people actually I did see in real life recently or on Zoom recently. So it's great to have you here. And we'll conclude with Adon Olam. Oh no, I just did something. No, anyways. All right. All right. We will sing Adon Olam. I'm not sure what happened. I'm gonna stop the screen share. And then, oh, hey, there's more people. I was blocked, half of you were blocked out. All right. Salmi, Alana, Ethan. Ethan, how's it going? Good to see you.
I'm good. Sorry I'm so late. I thought I'd
Oh, it's all right.
I was in the other service with my dad too, but I thought I'd come and say hi even if
Yeah, thank you. It's great to see you. And I think this is going to be recorded. So if you want to catch any of it again, you can. And Eben, you're not on the camera, but it's great to have you.
Was I seeing
Salmi,
you?
what do you, sorry. So Salmi, I saw like your door is like open. For some reason, for a second, I thought that was like your finger lifting up, even though it's your door. So that's why I said Salmi. Great. Aviva Volpe, Shana Tova. Excellent. Hannah, Jordana, Max, Maya, and Joshua. Awesome to have you. All right, let us conclude with Adon O. All right, Adon Olam. I don't know why I can't get to it for some reason. Luckily, this happened on the last page. So we'll sing it all together. All right. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Bam Badam Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa B'Chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam Yacharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimlach Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yeh B'Tifara Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa V'Chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam V'hu Echad V'ein Sheni V'am Shelo L'Hachbira V'li Reishi V'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz B'Am Yisra Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa V'Chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam V'hu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzor Chali V'etzara Adon Olam V'hu Nisi Umanos Li Menakos Li B'yom Ekra Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa V'Chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam Biado Afkid Ruchi Ve'eti Sham V'Ya'ira Adon Olam V'im Ruchi Kiviati Adonai Li V'lo Ira Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa V'Chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Shana Tova. Wish you and your families all a very, 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 very happy New Year. Thank you so much for participating and being part of this. First Zoom Rosh Hashanah ever. And have a Shana Tova Tikatevu. And Shana Tova Mituka, sweet year. Very good. Happy New Year. Hopefully see you all very soon.
Thank you, John. Have a good
Thanks so
one.
much.
Thank
You're very
you.
welcome.